Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. Your fears, incompletions, insecurities, nothing is needed for you to exist. Paramashiva alone is enough for you to live absolutely, blissfully, celebrating, fulfilled, complete, intensely. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Kanvaditam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyaadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamarchalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguణarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namah. Nithyanandam. Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome to today's show where we are going to be sharing with you some of very simple yet powerful lifestyle tips directly revealed by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, for you to completely detox your system. So, Nithyananda, to all of you, I see many of you already tuned in. Nithyananda, everyone. So let's enter. But just wanted to know, where are each of you logging in from? Which country are each of you logging in from? Please take a moment to post that also in the live comment section. So today we are going to be entering into a very, very important subject. A very important subject. I know, especially if you're someone who's been very health conscious, or you're someone who is like, you want your body, or you care about health, fitness, you would be very familiar with this. Detoxing. Paramashiva insists on detoxification. In so many yoga literatures, Paramashiva has given beautiful yoga pada in Agama and some of the yoga pada based literatures. In all of these, Paramashiva reveals specific methods to detoxify your system. Understand, the food you eat becomes part of your body day by day. It becomes part of your blood. The bread becomes your blood, part of your bone, part of your bone marrow, part of your internal organs. It's very subtle, but surely a part of you. It even becomes a part of your intra-organ. Intra-organ is like third eye or your vag. All these exist in you, but they're very, very, very subtle. So they are called as intra-organs. Understand, it is not only the food that you consume becomes a part of you. It is also the thought currents you cherish, either while cooking them or while consuming them. They also become a part of you.
And do you know, every day in your life, you have so much of exposure to toxins, whether it is the water that you drink, the food that you eat. Every one of you have so much of toxins entering into your system. And do you know, right from the water that you drink and right from the food that we eat, which is sprayed with pesticides, all of it gets into your system. They find way through your food, water, clothes, even your the moisturizers or the makeup products that you use, shampoos, soaps, everything, whatnot. That is why today a lot of us are becoming more conscious towards organic items and more conscious towards the different things that we're trying.
So now, one very important thing that all of us need to understand here is it is not just the physical products that we use alone, but a very important thing in this is the thought currents also becoming a part of you. The food, as well as whatever you consume and the lifestyle that you live, all of these play a very, very important role. Paramashiva talks about Jati dosha, Ashraya dosha, Nimitta dosha. And in Vaishnava Sampradaya, they're very strict about these three doshas in the food. Unfortunately, like the mainstream Hindus have stopped following these lifestyle practices. Jati dosha means by nature, any food that makes you withdraw from life. If you take the food items that are filled with pesticides, chemical fertilizers, you think you're going to be very alive and active. But if these are creating any withdrawal symptoms, then they are not good for you.
So, what are the sources that toxins enter into your system? Why is it so important? Like today, we're all discussing about toxins, right? We're discussing about what are the Hindu ways that you can detoxify, correct? But we also need to understand what are toxins. Toxic loads actually refers to the chemicals, harmful substances that enter into your system, that accumulate into your body through exposures to different things such as air, water pollutants, and numerous food additives or additives that is added in food. And chemicals present in personal products, household cleaners, even the fragrant room freshener that you use, they induce toxins into your system. Medications, plastics, other environment exposures, so many things induce toxins in your system. Today, we are living in a world where even the air that you breathe will add toxins in your system. How many of you enjoy the fresh fragrance that you enter into the room when it's just freshly mopped with your floor cleaner, which claims it's 99.99% antibacterial? It makes you feel clean. It makes you feel you're more conscious about health. Unfortunately, that is not the truth. Did you know these the fragrant causing items that are added into these daily usage products, they accumulate as toxins in your system? How many of you enjoy the fresh dab of moisturizer every day on your skin? The moisturizers that are induced with certain additives cause toxins in your body. They accumulate as toxins in your skin. You enjoy the room freshener, which makes that very beautiful fragrance in your room. You need to know it is 10 times more harmful than causing pleasant or pleasure in your system. The air that you breathe carries pollutants, toxins that enter into your system. The water that you drink, did you know that various private industries or even various different sources mix um, fluoride into the water, fluoridated water, but that fluoride collects as toxins in your system?
Exactly. Actually, these toxins, the fluoride by itself is called as a neurotoxin. And you will see it very being proudly displayed on a toothpaste. So you just go and see a toothpaste. 95% chances are there that it contains fluoride. Your water, most of the modern cities contain fluoridated water. These are neurotoxins, meaning these toxins go and affect your very nervous system. Did you know that just inhaling some of these harmful substances can create cancer in you? There is so much out there. But today we are not just going to talk about, okay, what are the harmful things that are happening to you, but also what are some of the simple lifestyle changes that you could do so that you have the best detoxification in your body. For example, if you feel addicted towards something, Swamiji beautifully reveals that that addiction is not happening as a mental thought, but it is happening because your liver is filled with toxins and that is driving you towards it. Your liver only makes you addicted towards something. So if you just learn how to detox your liver, you can walk out of many addictions. There are some like extreme addictions for which you need to even change the very mental setup that you carry. We will be talking about it in our further series. But just wanted to share with all of you, we have some of the most powerful techniques that Swamiji has researched, tested upon himself, and given as a lifestyle practice. Like, for example, every day, if you wake up early morning in the Brahma Muhurta time and just visualize how you want your day to be, or if you just visualize what you want to be, just waking up at Brahma Muhurta time. Brahma Muhurta time starts at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. So from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. within these 2 hours, if you just start waking up during this time, it starts changing your very consciousness. It starts transforming. It starts from there, as well as eating before sunset. If you start practicing this lifestyle of eating before sunset, even Ayurveda suggests this. Ayurveda very clearly says that you should start your eating window is only from sunrise to sunset. Understand these lifestyle practices can create so much of amazing effects in you. And all of us that are here, it's nice to see many of you that have joined. Nithyanandam, Vakal, Dhananjau, Jairani, and Aghora Mantar, Kaur Sander, Nithyanandam. So I just want, like, as if you guys have any questions as we are talking, you all can feel free to ask those questions.
And also, let us understand what we need to do to detox. Why do we need to detox? See, please understand, yes, there are a lot of sources of chemicals that enter into our system. But without detoxing, when you continue to live, they even become fatal. From your household products or waste, pesticides, the recreational hazards, or drinking the water supply, soil contamination, vegetables, inorganic vegetables, so many sources. And at many times, we can't even avoid these sources of toxins entering into our system. And there are multiple countries where rivers are toxified, almost every country. Understand the food that you take, which is having toxins or additives added, directly impacts your ability to make logical decisions in life. It's not just about the physical harm that they cause. Yes, even physically, it's extremely harmful. Even psychologically, physiologically, they affect you. It becomes all the more important for you to detoxify your system. Anything, any substance that makes your internal organ, intra-organ withdraw from life. Understand, it is all just the work of pesticides. How many of you enjoy when you go to a party and you like to you feel like, okay, just once in a while I can just have a cake, or I can just drink my favorite Coke, or you just want to order some pizzas for the weekend. Whatever you do just once in a while causes something lifelong, something irreversible in your system. Every time when you eat your food, you have a certain thoughts. Many of us are used to having stress eating, eating when we feel depressed, overeating. All of these, along with the food that you eat, even the thought currents that you cherish, gets into your system. It makes it so important for you to detoxify.
Yes, now let us take a quick few minutes and we are going to be listening to Swamiji's revelation on the Ayurvedic techniques on how you can detox from psychedelic drugs.
Psychedelic plants like DMT or ayahuasca, where do they fit within the
where they fit. They hurt and damage you completely. Please do not use any of these psychedelic drugs. They thoroughly damage you, gives you the false, illusory ideas. They only push you more and more into deep sleep and dream state and delusion. Please do not use any external substance. Anything externally goes inside and makes is dangerous. Marijuana or any psychedelic drugs, they only break the whole circuit. Physical circuit, physiological circuits, psychological circuits, and neurological circuits. All the circuits are broken and damaged terribly, sometimes irreparably. So please do not use any of the psychedelic drugs or these items. If you are already used, better use Haritaki and cleanse your body. See, Haritaki is considered to be, in the Ayurvedic tradition, in Hindu tradition, only one object is revered, respected more than mother. See, in Hindu tradition, mother is highly revered. Even if somebody is a sannyasi, if he sees the mother, he has to touch the feet. If he sees the father, he does not need to touch. Father has to touch his feet. But mother, even if you are a sannyasi, you have to touch his feet, touch her feet. That reverence is given. But Ayurveda says the Haritaki is much more good to you than your mother. So if you have damaged your system without knowingly or unknowingly, by taking any of these psychedelic drugs or marijuana or psychiatric medicines, depression drugs, understand, depression medicines, this bipolar disorder medications, all of them damage your system irreparably. If you have damaged yourself, take Haritaki every day and at least detoxify yourself. Detoxify yourself. If you have damaged your system by any of these modern day drugs or psychedelic drugs, applying turmeric on your forehead every night and taking Haritaki. Actually, fluoride enters into your system even through skin. Understand? Fluoridated water. You don't need to drink. Even if you take shower, 40% fluoride enters into your system. And the antidote for fluoride is turmeric. That also enters into your system through skin. If you rub turmeric, more than 40% gets into your system. So, taking bath, using turmeric or Haritaki powder, applying the turmeric on your forehead, taking bath by applying the Haritaki powder on your skin, or taking Haritaki orally, taking turmeric powder orally in your food, all these can do detoxification. All these can detoxify. Many of you might have damaged yourself, but you may not want to express. You don't need to. I'll give you the solution. You just practice this solution. That's enough. Leaving the head, shave the whole body and rub Haritaki powder, like a skin should become almost pink. That level, rub on the skin and take hot water bath. In the night, before going to bed, apply turmeric on your forehead, rub nicely. This too can detoxify your system and it can heal you like anything. It can remove the unnecessary toxins you accumulated by taking antidepressants or bipolar medicines or marijuana or any other psychedelic drugs. Even the fluoride, please understand, fluoride is officially declared neurotoxin. How many of you know? It is officially declared neurotoxin. Please do not allow fluoride in any form. Fluoride strengthens your teeth, your bone is a lie. It does not. And whatever quantity fluoride you need, your body is intelligent enough to produce. You don't need external fluoride. Fluoridating is one of the ways you are kept in dullness. You are kept in the low levels of consciousness. Low neurological life is maintained in you by fluoride. Fluoride keeps you constantly internally fighting. So you are busy with yourself, you don't become a rebel. You don't become a powerful person. Please understand, actually in those days, in Indian villages, women used to apply turmeric and take bath. Not last one generation. I've seen my mother and all used to use. In those days, there will be a small stone on which they rub that the turmeric, and then they will apply on the whole body and take bath. When you are going to apply the turmeric in the night time, take the turmeric and make it like a paste, nicely apply on the whole forehead. Because your third eye is the part most affected by the fluoride. Nicely apply, fall asleep, early morning, wash and come out. Don't frighten the people who are living around you. And using the turmeric for bath means take with both the hands and apply on the whole body. Rub nicely. See, rubbing, that makes the turmeric get into your system. Or Haritaki, you can use any one. You can use Haritaki. See, if you clean the body, remove the hair, that pore need to be. If you remove the hair and rub the turmeric or Haritaki, it will get into the pore, that will detoxify you strongly. So take handful and nicely rub on all over the body. It should become like a body, skin should become pink. That much rub. Don't use any other stone or anything. Use only hand. And rub. That's the best way to fight. It is described in a detailed way in Ayurveda to detoxify.
How many of you like this? Very quick, a very powerful technique. Just rubbing turmeric can rid you of so many types of toxins entering into your system.
Your body can be detoxed. Understand? Actually, Swamiji has been telling about Haritaki, revealing so many amazing truths about Haritaki. Last, I think, almost 20 plus years now. From the very beginning, Swamiji has made it as a lifestyle practice. In KAILASA, everyone consumes Haritaki to cleanse, not just to cleanse our gut alone, but also to increase the prana in us. And
Actually,
also,
actually, how many of you even know that it is not just as a laxative? Haritaki is not just laxative, but also something that detoxifies you from so many harmful chemicals, like Swamiji told. Even the pills that you take for sugar, blood pressure, headache, and painkillers, all of these, or psychiatrics and psychedelic drugs, like for depressions, you take drugs to feel happy, you take drugs to feel an energy boost. All of these cause a lasting impact in your system. We very casually just pop some pills in just to feel good. But understand, they caused a lasting impact in your system. The importance of which Swamiji revealed to us in this. Understand, all the huge amount of drugs that we intake will cause impotency, low immunity, and many other permanently damaging disorders.
and did you also know it is not just these things that we think, okay, like for example, yes, we already know that these psychedelic drugs do impact your system, but it is not just limited to that alone. Even eating, there's at least in this decade, there's been a huge craze to become vegan, especially everyone that is health conscious starts switching to vegan diet. But do you know the reason why? It is not just as a moral value. It is not just for, yes, you need to be kind towards animals, but it's not just for that. It is to even save yourself from the animalistic patterns. You become what you eat. This is a very famous proverb. We all tell this. You need to understand that. For example, when you kill an animal for your food, that animal, when it is going to be dying, it is going to go through so much of suffering, and a lot of hormones are released, which when you consume directly enters inside your system and adding more to your depression or to your violence, to your anger, to your agitation. And this changes your very biomemory. Biomemory is the memory from which you take major decisions in your life. All your deep rooted cognitions about yourself, about life, about others, everything is stored in your biomemory. So when an animal's suffering gets added to your biomemory, you are adding additional depression, additional anger, and lot of animalistic patterns. Come on, we have evolved. We have evolved way more in our consciousness. Why do you want to go back to those animalistic patterns? And these create a lot of toxification inside your system, physically as well as psychologically and emotionally. It creates a lot of imbalance inside you. Yes, you might be thinking so many people are consuming meat, but yes, all of them are also going through the same thing. When an animal is dying, it is not going to say, "Oh, I bless you. I'm so happy that you're killing me." No, obviously not. When an animal is getting killed, it is going to go through the worst suffering, and all that is released. Hormones is one day that we are able to see, but the biomemory and muscle memory of that animal is filled with that pain and suffering, which the moment you consume starts becoming a part of you. So the next thing that we wanted to share is the diet of being a vegetarian or vegan is extremely important. Only with that you can come or detox yourself from animalistic patterns.
People are asking me the question, what is Mriga Sharira Vasa? If you go to our YouTube and see the satsangs, I have spoken elaborately. Mriga Sharira Vasa means detoxing yourself from all the animalistic patterns. There are 4 basic fundamental animalistic patterns: hunger, anger, extreme violence based sex based violence, the mess up of violence being delusively considered as sex and sex being delusively understood as violence. These are the 4 patterns. Animalistic. Detox yourself from that. You can see funny thing. Violently raping is considered as sex, and the fighting seems to be more like a sexual activity. That is why the porn addicts enjoy this fight-based sex, sex-based violence, violence-based sex. One misconstrued as other and deluded into other is animalistic patterns. Hunger, anger, confused, deluded violence, confused, deluded sex. This 4 is the animalistic patterns. Detox yourself. If you detox yourself from this, you grow that Shanti, Paramashanta Swarupa, and you manifest. Paramashanta, and you manifest Paramashivatva. Nothing can be compared to the strength of the peace you have grown inside. The quality of the peace based powerfulness is called maturity as per the Vedic tradition. Aging is not maturity in Vedic tradition. The Paramashanta which grows in you is maturity in Vedic tradition. Paramashanta Swarupa. Meditate on Paramashiva. Connect with Paramashiva. Prabhu, I know you are eternal Paramashanta Swarupa. Please manifest in that space, in that state in me. That is what I call mukti-based bhakti, devotion centered on liberation. Liberation centered on devotion. Enlightenment centered on devotion. Devotion centered on enlightenment. Understand these powerful cognitions if they are for you. I can put that fire of initiation. You will explode into that space of Sri KAILASA. Manifest Paramashiva any moment. Absolute enlightenment is absolute Shanta. Paramashanta Swarupa.
We just listened now from Swamiji about a very powerful method. If you have already consumed non-veg and meat, and if that animalistic patterns are sitting inside of you, doing this technique of Mriga Sharira Vasa will really, really help you. You can go and check in our YouTube channel and search for Mriga Sharira Vasa. It's very powerful meditation, as well as you will be having a guided meditation. This Mriga Sharira Vasa as a guided meditation, and also healing yourself from various different animalistic patterns that you are suffering with in your system because of your lifestyle practice. We have a special program in the Paramashivoham program. We are going to be doing these powerful meditation processes. And the next thing, now, what do we need to do as our day-to-day lifestyle? Now, why is Swamiji emphasizing so much on taking Haritaki? Why is Haritaki so important? Understand, Swamiji actually says, just clean stomach is enough for enlightenment. You can achieve enlightenment itself just if your stomach, if your gut is clean. Of course, now modern day studies are proving this more and more, saying how your gut influences your brain way more than how much we understand. Now, having a clean gut is very, very important. Okay, I see a question from Dashri Stars asking, how do you spell that? It's H-A, okay, it's Mriga Sharira Vasa. Okay, it's M-R-I-G-A-S-H-A-R-I-R-A. Mriga Sharira Vasa, V-A-S-A. So you can get that name, but if you want to have a very specific guided meditation where you'll be guided to do it in the best right way, you can go ahead and sign up now, and we will actually be able to support you and guide you with that meditation. Go ahead and sign up. The link is actually projected for you, and our team will reach out to you and give you more information on this. The next thing that we need to understand is how this Haritaki is so powerful that it can completely cleanse your biomemory level and increase your oxygen intake, which in turn transforms the way you think, the way you organize life. Let's listen to a very quick excerpt from Swamiji Satsang, where Swamiji reveals about how Haritaki helps you to increase your prana shakti.
You will live with so much health and long life. Especially when you take Haritaki and all, your lungs will become so pure, it will start converting the oxygen into energy. There's a beautiful statement in Siddha tradition, Katrai pusittu vaazhum kalai, means eating the air and living. That capacity, biomemory will be awakened in you. That is why I insist so much on Haritaki. Understand? I'll repeat. Neem, bit leaf, bilva leaf, tulsi leaf, turmeric, tamarind, Haritaki. If you keep all these as your food, regular food, that also in the liquid form, avoid solid food almost 100%. Go for liquid diet. I tell you, so much good will happen to you. Intellectually, emotionally, bioenergy, spiritually, physically, health, everything. Almost 90% I dropped eating. Stopped eating. 90% of my food intake I stopped. Even an incarnation like me, the body is now so useful for the purpose I am possessing this body.
So beautifully Swamiji revealed about the importance of consuming health. Now, you can transform the way you exist by starting to switch your diet to make it more and more a liquid-based diet. Actually, we have different levels where it's called as, it's not actually fasting or juicing, because that has a different connotation to it, like where actually if you do a normal fast, usually your dieting, your mind always keeps thinking about, okay, when am I actually going to get a meal break so I can actually eat? But when you start doing the Nirahara Samyama that Swamiji has revealed, you will awaken your very biomemory and you will be able to experience life and go beyond food in an unimaginable way, where you will not even feel hungry. Your body will not be feeling tired. Instead, your body will feel so refreshed. There are specific breathing techniques. And now let's listen from Swamiji one more important thing on how actually you can consume this Haritaki.
Everybody has to take 1 full teaspoon Haritaki powder. If you can't swallow that, take the Haritaki tablets. It's available in the form of tablets. Tablet means 5 tablets. Powder is best. Why? You know, the gums also will be healed. If you have the bleeding, anything in the gums, it will be immediately healed and strengthened. A mouth smell will go away. Nothing like this. See, just put the powder and put the water, little warm water if you put, whole mouth will feel very sweet. Come on. You can't miss the Haritaki powder. If you don't, see, understand, Haritaki powder increases the oxygen level in your body 300%. Only with Haritaki powder you can understand whatever I am talking. If there is a heaviness or a constipation in the stomach, which is a usual status of all human beings, such a subtle concepts which I am talking, you will not realize, you will not listen, you will not understand. Half of the time you will be switched off. Come on, all of you, please take the Haritaki powder and come back.
Swamiji revealed a very important fact here. Swamiji said how most of us, almost every human being, is loaded with all that shit sitting in the stomach. Understand, it's not a joke. Do you know that the toxins which enter your system sits in your intestines and guts and makes you withdraw from life? The pesticides, the chemicals that enter into your system, even when they spray on the plants, it's just a simple logic. Even when they spray on the plants, they cover their mouths. They wear like such a big suit to spray the pesticides. But you eat that food. Understand, due to the unconscious lifestyle that we all live, we collect so many addictive patterns and empower them along with your parasites. All those parasites get empowered along with the patterns, and they sit inside you and ruin your life. Haritaki is not just a laxative that flushes out the food, undigested stuff sitting in your body, but also flushes out the toxins sitting in your system. It cleanses your system of all the toxins that is there. Now, why do we need to brush our teeth with Haritaki as well? How does it benefit us? Let us listen to another short clipping where Swamiji is going to tell us the benefits of brushing with Haritaki.
I was telling yesterday, use Haritaki powder to brush your teeth. 90% of your problems will be solved. You will become rich actually. Anybody wants wealth, I give you guarantee. Use Haritaki powder and brush every day morning. So much of pitta will go out. The time you are concentrated, centered on your goal every day will increase 3 times more. Understand? Number of times you remember your goal and align yourself to your goal, and the time you feel oneness with your goal and centered on your goal will increase 3 times more if the pitta in your body is balanced. It's a simple technique. Having Haritaki powder in your restroom and brushing every morning with Haritaki powder will make you rich. Understand? It will also make you beautiful, because when the pitta leaves the system, the skin will start shining, which can never come by fair and lovely. Understand, listen carefully. The color attracts only the superficial eyes. The shining attracts very being. You will develop that shining. We call it Tejas. A normal eye does not recognize Tejas, but third eye recognizes it. Balancing Pitta increases the level of Tejas in your system.
Many of us focus only on the external beauty. Oh, you want to see the latest trends, put the best makeup possible, and make sure you look fit outside. But there's something inside of you that needs direly needs your attention. Constantly, we're all fighting in and out through the day, trying to manage this, trying to manage that. But like Swamiji said, it is the inner shine that really matters. And please understand, there's a very beautiful yogic definition of a parasite. In yogic definition, even if one cell does not listen to your will, that is considered as parasite. Anti-being. If you have problems, like if you feel, oh, I want to be integrated, but I'm not able to. I want to wake up every day in the morning and I want to hit the gym on time, but I'm not able to. I don't want to go and constantly eat my favorite snacks that's there, but I'm not able to. Understand, they're all parasites sitting in your system. Tiredness is not deprival of sleep, it is deprival of psychological pitta. The pitta mayakam it is called. And they constantly make you entertain certain kind of a delusory, unconnected, random, unattended thinking. That is why whenever you feel so heavy, your stomach is not clean, you will have so many thoughts and confusion in your head, you will not even know how to attend to it. You will not know the reason, the cause, or the source of why they come. The problem is not in your emotions, not in your thinking, but in the gut bacteria.
Exactly, and that is why Swamiji has given so many techniques for you to be able to detox yourself from this pitta and to completely detox yourself from all the parasites that are sitting in your gut. For example, taking 1 tablespoon of castor oil every morning and completely cleansing your intestine. It's a very, 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 very powerful practice. And same way, you rubbing your upper palate with Karisalangani, Bringraj powder. All of these completely detox your system. And moreover, Swamiji has also revealed how it is very important for us to be able to have a clean stomach, a clean gut, because that clean gut is so powerful, it can even give, it is that much is enough for you to even achieve enlightenment itself. Because it is so powerful. See, when we say clean gut, it is also about the kind of thought currents that you cherish, because all of these are directly interconnected. When you consume certain types of foods, your body starts triggering certain hormones, starts triggering certain types of emotions, certain types of cognitions. How many of you have observed when your stomach is not good, you actually feel so many life negative thoughts, so many like thoughts that put you down, just flooding inside. How many of you have noticed this? Understand, if you have noticed it, it is very, very important for you to also understand that only by detoxing your gut, you will have amazing life. Actually, suddenly you will feel like so many people love you because the life negative cognitions inside you will start going away. Now, with this, I think it's already time. We are now going to be listening to Swamiji revealing about why it is so important for us to have a clean gut. Let's listen to this revelation from Swamiji. And we also thank all those who have joined us today. If you are finding this video helpful, Please take a moment to share it with others and also take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet.
Let's start the morning satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Jnanakarma Sannyasa Yoga, 35th verse.
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मनि यतो मयि.
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतानि अशेषेण द्रक्ष्यसि आत्मनि यतो मयि. Translation: experiencing which, O Pandava, you will not have this confusion once again, for you will discern that all life forms with no exception are in your own self as they are in me. It is such a pleasure to have knowledge bomb every morning. I don't know about you guys, I am having it. Such pleasant space in the morning. I wake up and take bath slowly in my own way. My way of taking bath is I need to have water in a huge tub, almost like what you need for an elephant. No, really, I cannot take bath with less quantity water, 2 bucket, 3 bucket, no. I can live without food, but this cleaning is a big ritual for me. And still I do all the rituals, achamanim, everything, and then only I'll take bath. As prescribed by Manu. Manu says that 7 times you have to wash after you finish your motion. So 7 times I'll use soap. I'll count. Sometime if I am in a hurry, at least 7 times I'll touch. And then my taking bath is like a... If you have seen the deity of Amritakateshwara, he will be sitting with 2 big vessels and pouring on his head. That's the way I'll take bath. Means the whole body will become cool. Now I have one more thing added. Puja. In this Madhurayadinam tradition, I have to perform Shiva Puja every morning. What puja I will perform? The moment I sit, already in Samadhi. But I have my own way. I'll put little vibhuti and little kumkum, little sandal and little water and flower, all that, and it will take 2 hours for me. Because if by the time I put kumkum, I'll fall into Samadhi. Then again settle down and pour little water. Anyhow, after all that, I come and sit here. It's like in pure inner space, a bomb, knowledge bomb. This is what exactly I want even you guys to experience. Morning, have enema so that stomach is clean. Take bath, come with a fresh inner space and do the Guru Puja. Then this energy bomb, the experience, knowledge bomb falls on you. If your stomach is clean, this verse can directly become experience in you. Please understand. Bhagavan says, O Partha, Pandava, again and again you lose the experience of the ultimate, the remembrance of the ultimate truth. Do not miss that. Have some experience which will remind you to experience the ultimate truth always. See, what is ultimate truth here? Bhagavan says very clearly, all life forms are part of your own self. That is the ultimate truth. Bhagavan says, you forget again and again this truth because of confusion. Here, Bhagavan is using word moham. Na aham is naham. Ma aham is moham. You surrendering yourself is naham, namaha, naham. You being destroyed is moham. Ma aham moham. If a horse comes and sits at your feet and obeys your command, it is naham. Na aham, surrendering. You just throw a bomb at a horse and it dies and falls. That is moham, ma aham. The key word in this verse is moham, ma aham. Bhagavan says, all life forms are part of you. This is the ultimate truth. But you again and again forget this truth because of moham. Moham word should not be understood as a lust or greed. Please understand. Lust or greed is only the bomb. That is not moham. Moham means destroying yourself, the confusion. Bhagavan says, the moham, the confusion, takes away this truth. All life forms are part of you. It is being taken away from you again and again. Punah punaha. He says, get into some experience which will not take away that ultimate from you again and again. It's a very subtle subject. Please listen intensely, step by step. First, all life forms are part of me. This is the truth. Now, once you understand that, sometime you feel, yes, if you take a handful of clay, if this is clay, if I understand this clay, if I know this clay thoroughly, then I know all the clay on the planet Earth thoroughly. Please understand. If I take a handful of clay and understand it thoroughly, then I know all the clay on the planet Earth. Same way, you are life. When you know you are living, you are life, then all life forms on the planet Earth is you. It is part of you. All the clay and the clay in your hand is not too different. All the life and the life in your body is not too different. You feel, almost I am understanding, but not. I think I understand, but not. For these understandings, you need to have two things. One, the stomach, clean stomach, and the throat with ghee. If you pour little ghee in your throat, the ghee in the throat awakens subtle parts of the brain. Still in Ramakrishna Math, morning, before the teacher starts the class, there will be a whole day classes, the Shastra classes, Patanjali and all other Shastra classes. Before entering into the class, they'll give the ghee in the spoon. You'll have to have the ghee in your throat and sit for the Shastra. I asked, why this tradition? It started by Sri Ramakrishna. It was given to Sri Ramakrishna by Totaburi. It's directly from Naga Sampradaya. The pure cow ghee made out of cow milk. You have to pour it in your throat, at least a spoon. If the ghee is in your throat and the stomach is clean, the subtle truths you will understand. If the ghee is in your throat, you won't fall asleep. Try. Try to have a spoon of ghee in early morning when you sit for satsang. You will never fall asleep. It's from Naga Sampradaya. It was given to Ramakrishna by Totaburi, and Ramakrishna has given to all his disciples. Stomach should be clean and ghee should be in the throat. Then you will catch all these subtle truths. Anyhow, today you may not have that, but understand the truth at least. You do accept many times all life forms are part of me. I am part of the all life forms. But the problem is, when you make serious decisions in your life, this truth is forgotten. You don't make decision based on this truth. Why? The ma-aham, confusion. The cognizance you take about the problem becomes more powerful than the ultimate solution you carry in your inner space. Please understand. All of you have thousands of ultimate solutions. Love, compassion, joy, part of life. I am part of life and life is part of me. All this, all of you have it. But when a problem comes, when you are expected to make decision, when you need to take cognizance about some issue, about some problem, the cognizance of the problem looks powerful in you than the cognizance of the ultimate solution, spiritual truth. I tell you, please understand, I am breaking one of the important myth. The power of problem in your inner space and the power of solution in your inner space. Ultimate solution in your inner space. If the power of ultimate solution is more, you are a Jivan Mukta. The power of problem is more, you are bound soul. Now you need to know a very important truth. The power of problem can never be reduced. The power of solution can never be increased by mental practices. It is simply your hormonal space. Please understand. All I am trying to tell is, by keeping your stomach clean, you will become enlightened. You don't need any other practice. You do not need big pranayamas, kumbhakas, puja, yoga, work, karma yoga. No. It is a simple truth. The power of solution feels smaller than power of the problem just because of your stomach, your body's sickness. It has nothing to do with your mind. I tell you, you might have practiced controlling anger and lust for 35 years. If your stomach is upset, a little bit of food which does not suit your stomach is enough. All your 35-year practice is in the air. You will be screaming. You will be shouting. Whole thing boils down. The key word moha. boils down to body's hormonal situation, body's chemical space. Balancing your body's chemical, establishing yourself in the ultimate understanding again and again and again is alchemy. I tell you, just keep the stomach clean. When I say clean, I don't mean empty. I am not saying don't eat and all that. If you do not have digestion problem, if you do not have constipation, if you are sitting with a, Ramakrishna says, keep your head and stomach always cool, because both are connected. See now, I am telling you from my experience. Morning I came and sat in the seat. My whole stomach is clean. Such beautiful inner space, because just now I finished my puja. I am coming and sitting. This verse feels like a bomb on me. Means such a strong impact this one line has created in me. But I can see so many of you unfortunately sitting. He says we have to believe, okay. The verse, I am giving you the clear meaning. It doesn't create a explosion in you. I want you to know the explosion happening in me and the explosion not happening in you, there is no mental practice needed for this. That is what I want you to understand. Do not say, oh, Swamiji has practiced and he became enlightened, that is why it is causing explosion in him. I am not, that is why it is not causing. No. It just needs chemical balance. Nothing else. And you may say, no, he is talking just to encourage us. No. Meenakshi Sundareshwara is witness. Keeping him as a witness, I promise, what I am saying is truth. It just needs a chemical balance, nothing else. Your body needs to be clean, nothing else. This verse will create the same shocking explosion in you, how it creates in me. Now I can tell you, this shock which I had, shock is not the right word, the explosion which I had now, when I read this verse, it will stay with me in my body at least for next 3 days. I will be there in that bhava continuously. This can happen in you without any mental, spiritual discipline or practice. Just by the right body. Means keeping your body clean. If your stomach is relaxed, you don't have much load and constipation on the stomach, and you are sitting, a cool feeling in the body, that is enough. This verse can cause the same explosion in your body, because this does not need any mental, spiritual practices. Understand? There are different truths. There are some truths you need a heavy spiritual practice to understand it. For example, this is a matter. This can be dismantled and teleported and assembled somewhere. To master this truth, you need a heavy practice, mental practice. pranayama practice. But I am not teaching you that now. Same way, there are some truths, which I said yesterday. The attitude of imbibing. There is no end to practice those truths. It's like even though I have mastered pranayama, still I continue to breathe. Even though I mastered the science of eating, I can live without food for any number of days. When my disciples can live without food for 27 days, why can't me? But I continue to eat. When I can. And same way, when I mastered the science of breath, even though I have mastered the science of breath, I continue to breathe. Even though I mastered the science of eating, I continue to eat. Same way, even though I mastered the science of imbibing, I continue to practice it. There are some truths, even after mastering, you continue to practice. But there are some truths, once you master, you can't practice. Unclutching. I can't practice unclutching. Once you master it, you can't practice. You stay in it. Unclutching. Ajapa japa. All these, once you master, you can't practice. But feeling connection, even after you master, it goes on growing. You can't practice, but it goes on growing. There are some truths which needs heavy practice. There are some truths, once you master, you don't need to practice and you can't practice. There are some truths, even after you master, you will continue to practice. There are some truths for which you don't need any practice, just a balanced body. It is just a knack. You need to keep the body clean and keep it there when the truth is told to you. This truth, the truth, all life forms are part of you, which Bhagavan says, does not need any spiritual practice prior to the experience and post-experience. Please understand. Prior to experience and post-experience, you do not need any practice for this truth. It needs clean stomach, that's all. In Vedanta, there are some truths you don't need any practice. Just clean body. Same way, there are some truths. If your body is in utter sickness, that truth will work out. That is death experience. If you are in a complete chaos, the truth about the death, the moment it is told, it will become experience in you. That is what has happened to Ramana Maharshi in Madurai. He was actually sick. It has happened just in the same street. The South Tower street is there. We are in Tirkavani Moolavidi. Go to the South Tower and the straight, that street, I request and recommend all the devotees to go and have darshan of that place and come back. It's a small house. Bhagavan was sick for 2.5 days. Third day morning only this experience happened. He had a fever and slowly that fever started developing and entered kind of a terrible confused fear. The child was terrorized. Maybe he was not able to communicate his fever to others, or nobody was able to understand. He was terrorized inside. Fever may be small thing if the doctor says and he gives medicine and you see any progress. If you don't know about medicine, if you are not given knowledge or confidence, fever can terrorize your inner space. Bhagavan felt terrorized inside. What is happening? I don't know. In that mood, when a small suggestion about death came, it became experience. That is why even now, in Buddhist monasteries, when somebody falls sick, they will use even that atmosphere, ambience, space to give enlightenment to that person. In Zen monasteries, if you fall sick, they will give you medicine, but whole day, 2-3 monks will sit next to you and remind you about the many sacred sentiments, many sacred secrets. They will remind you. Because during the sickness, there are some sacred secrets will click with your body. Even in Dhyanapidam, I want this tradition to start. If somebody is sick and lying down, they should be constantly listening to the different sacred secrets I revealed in many different verses in Shiva Sutras or in Bhagavad Gita or Yoga Sutra. These three are the backbone of Hindu tradition. How to experience this truth and not to lose the experience of this truth. Bhagavan says, moha, confusion is the reason why you lose this truth. Please understand, moha is not related to mind, it is related to body. Moha is not related to mind, it is related to body. Moha, kama, krodha, all the three are physical experience, not mental experience. Jealousy, attention need, ego, all three are mental experience, not physical experience. Please understand. Moha, kama, krodha, even bhaya. The lower three chakras are physical experience. To conquer the lower three chakras, you need to prepare the body, not mind. But unfortunately, you try to constantly prepare the mind and fail. The top three, attention need, jealousy and ego. For this, you need to prepare mind, because they are mental experiences. But the lust, fear and confusion, means worrying, these three are physical experiences. You just need to keep your stomach clean and light. Nothing else. You just need to carry your body gracefully. Nothing else. Where you hold your body, please understand, you always hold your body in Swadhisthana. That is why constant tensed feeling in Swadhisthana. Don't hold the body in Swadhisthana. Walk with the legs, not from Swadhisthana. While you walk, feel you are putting the foot on the ground. But now, you are holding your Swadhisthana and pushing the body. For example, the bullock cart. The spot where the bullock and the cart is connected, that is the spot the whole tension falls. When the bullock pulls the cart, the spot where the cart is first experiencing the pull, that spot, we can call it the touch spot, the spot where the touch happens. The transmission of pulling power happens. Same way, Swadhisthana is the spot where the transmission of the touch between your will and the body happens. Don't do that. Walk with the legs, talk with mouth, work with hands. Stop using Swadhisthana. Let the pressure be on the parts of the body which is functioning. How to do it? When you walk, remember you are using only your legs to walk. When you work, remember you are using only your hands to work. Just few days of remembrance is enough. Don't make this again as a mental practice. No. It is a physical thing. Even remembering that you are walking, you need to do mentally. See how sick human beings have become. It's very unfortunate. Moha can be dispelled only by training the body, not the mind. Mind can never be out of moha. Mind can never be out of roha. Mind can never be out of soha by itself. It is only the body which needs to keep the mind out of roha, moha and soha. It is so unfortunate the Vedantis have forgotten the body, preparing the body, and they go on beating the mind till the end and die in depression. And it is so unfortunate. Siddhantis have forgotten body and mind and both. Even the mental struggle is stopped in course of time. It has all ended in who receives Purnakumbha, who gives Purnakumbha, who is respected and who is old. The other day there was a criticization. Somebody was criticizing about me. He self-styled, started 10 years before. We are the oldest. Of course, now their criticism holds no more value because now I am representing the oldest Hindu religious organization. That's different. But I also wanted them to understand what do we mean by oldest. In Zen tradition, there's a beautiful example. One enlightened master was sitting. One monk who was the head of the old monastery, who is the inheritor of the oldest monastic tradition, a pontiff of an old monastery comes to this enlightened master, and this master is sitting and drinking cup of tea. This pontiff comes and says, "Do you know, I am the pontiff of this monastery, oldest Buddhist monastery." The Zen master did not speak. Usually they don't speak. He finished his cup of tea and poured the water, washed that cup and poured it in another cup and emptied that cup, poured little more water in that cup, washed it and poured it another one cup and emptied that cup, poured little more water in that cup, washed it and poured in another one cup and gave it to this pontiff and said, "Please drink this tea." Pontiff was shocked. He said, "What do you mean?" Master said, "An experienced person drinks original cup of tea. Pontiff drinks the washed water." Truth. What is there? My ancestors, my predecessor had a cup of tea. What is there in that? Fool, you have the cup of tea. And very strangely and rarely, Impossibly. Now both are meeting in one body. I don't know what is going to happen. Unfortunately, these Siddhanta monasteries have been reduced to who is old, whose teacup is old. Older the teacup, tea smell reduces. Vedantis fight with mind and forget the body. Siddhantis fight with others, forget the body and mind both. This is where the fate of Siddhanta and Vedanta I tell you, work on your body. These great truths you should imbibe by working on your body. Early morning, if you do yoga, and then take bath in cold water, come and sit and do the Guru Puja, listen to these great truths, straight away it settles down in your inner space. Yoga simply happens in your inner space. Vedantic experience simply happens in your inner space. You need just prepared body, nothing else. Now, sit for a few minutes. Don't work on your body, don't work on your mind. Leave both to me. Don't unclutch. Don't try to do any technique. Don't even try to feel the presence of Meenakshi Sundareshwara. Don't even try to feel my presence. Just sit. Drop your body, drop your mind. Let me do what I need to do. Let me do what I have to do. Let me do my homework. You just sit.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे